All right, so we're going to get started. I see we already jumped up to 20 people real quick. So, what's up, people? Gooniac here, and the place to be on a wonderful Monday night. Um, we got longer days now, which is cool. So, as you can see in the upper right hand corner there's still some light outside. So, the days are getting longer, which is cool. I prefer that because then that means that I can get out and fly more, which I plan to do. I couldn't this weekend. Had stuff going on. Um, but yeah, so let me do what I normally do here. So the first thing we do, I've been meaning to do more of. Gotta do some shout outs. So let's look at all the people that have showed up. We had people showing up early this for this session. Big Chris, who's almost always one of the first ones, he showed up here. What's up, Big Chris? Pete Lane is there. Mr. Mike Statler is there. KBRC was here and gone. Thanks for coming, and I'm glad that X-Fly worked out for you. Told you it would. The F-18, it does wonders in that plane. Ghost RC, what is happening? Mr. Desert Flyer, what's going on? Who else? We got Wild Bill, who was out there at Arizona and that event going on out there in Arizona. Hopefully get to see some of your videos you post up. And also I wanted to note, Ghost RC is a member. He's been a member for a while, so thank you very much for that. Membership info is in the description if you guys want to support the channel. A couple different levels, from really cheap to a little bit more money. If you guys want to do that, I'd very much appreciate it because it will help support you guys with stuff that I can help bring to the channel. So let's see who else. Andy Cho, what's up, Andy? Too bad I didn't get out to fly with you this weekend, but hopefully I will be able to soon. EQRC is here. I'm glad you finally got your stuff. Mr. Lionel Randall, who is another member. Thank you, Lionel. Snow Valley's here as well. He is another member. Thank you very much. Mr. Fred Barron is here. JCB67 is here. Shadow Ops has shown up. It's funny too. Shadow Ops, my son and I were just talking about O2 replacements and how not replacing an O2 can blow out your catalytic converter, which is what's happened. So anyway, thanks for being here. Jack78, who is a member. Thank you, Mr. Jack. So let's just get started with what we're doing here. Sorry if my face keeps changing colors because I'm changing screens. But so that's the shout outs. But as I see people come on, I'll make sure to say something. But thank you guys for coming and hanging out this evening. So also wanted to make sure that everybody knows we're going to be talking about this a little bit more anyway, but it's in the description. That's my website, Gooniac33.me. If you guys want to take a look at my burner stuff, take a look at anything. If you have questions and you want to get to me easy, that's the way to do it. It shows my email address, but it also has a contact form you can fill out, so you can figure out how to get to me. I also sell merch, and that's also available in the description. So if you guys want to support me, that's one of the ways to do it too, because I got some cool stuff in there. Thanks to Nate for the picture that we used too. So take a look at the description, become a member, like, subscribe, comment, share, all that stuff. It's appreciated and it helps with the algorithm, helps me get on the map a little bit more. I've been steadily increasing in subscribers, which is really cool. I haven't really been pushing it, but haven't been posting as many videos as I normally do either, which I'm going to get back to. I have a whole stack of videos of hat cam stuff. As far as whether or not it's like the perfect production and all that crap, to be honest, I don't really care for the most part. There are some things where I will care and will put the time and effort into doing it, but if it's just the stuff from the field, I don't really care about production. Most people don't either. They just want to see it, and hopefully you guys can understand. Hey, John Henry just became a member. Thank you, John Henry. Very much appreciated. So once we give John Henry some props for showing up. Let me see who else is there. Pops 305, what's happening? Airvex, what's up? So yeah, so hey, thanks to everybody for coming in. And thanks to Mr. John Henry for becoming a member. It's very much appreciated, and it's a big support to the channel, which I appreciate. And as I said before, the merch is a way to do that too, and there's a link in the description if you want to take a look at that. So let's get rid of that, and let's get to the Q&A. So if you guys got questions, now is the time. Sorry for the shaky screen, but go ahead, and now is the time to ask questions. We'll leave it that ask questions for a little bit. Then I'll get into what it was that I was going to show you guys that I've been working on, since I've been pretty quiet with post and all that other stuff as of late. But we are coming up on some new stuff. Lionel Randall, that is a very good question, and I'm going to post that up. That is a really good question, because I've been talking to people a lot about that lately. And he says, at what point do you sacrifice flying time for more weight or higher MAH batteries? So that's the thing. It's about energy density. So you want to make the most of what you have. So what I like to do is get the most milliamp hours and discharge rate as I can out of any given weight. So yes, high C is good, and yes, high C is important depending on what your application is. But in my opinion, it's better to have an overall discharge rate that's well above what it is that you're going to do, but also capable of doing what it is that you need to do with a good capacity. So if you have I'm just going to use random numbers, and I'm not going to be able to do the math right off the top of my head, but let's just say somebody has a 3500 milliamp battery, and it's an 80 C pack. Okay, so that's really good discharge rate, but it's unfortunately low capacity. So when you have really high discharge, it makes internal resistance is really low, which means that amps and everything flow really easily. So you're going to have low voltage drop, but you're also going to have a slightly higher amp draw than you normally would, because it's easier for stuff to flow. So that means you're going to lose. I mean, it may not be much to worry about, but that means you're going to fly through your pack really quickly. So what you could do is, if you can find a pack that is similar weight but higher discharge, then you're making, a similar weight but higher capacity with, a reasonable discharge. That capacity is gonna help you more than anything. So it's better to maximize the amount of weight. And maybe I'm saying it wrong, but whatever. The energy density is supposed to be, you're supposed to have as much energy as you can for as much given weight. So what I do is I'll take just because I like to fly for a long time, I'll take, for example, for my F5 and some other things that use the X-Fly, which happen to be amp hungry if you want them to be, I will use a 30C 6200. The continuous discharge rate is plenty high, so that's not an issue. But the Michael Wright, so what's up? But the capacity is there, so if anything goes wrong, you don't have to worry about running out of capacity really quick. So it's a balance. It's a balance. It's a really good question too, but it is a balancing act. You've got to figure out what works best for you, and figure out how it's going to fit with what it is that you want to do. Good question. So that's the way I do it. I always go by a combination of discharge rate, but I always choose higher capacity over C rating. So, 30 to 40 C is more than enough for most of my, I do have 65 C and 70 C packs, but I don't, I prefer to have, instead of having that weight in C rating, I prefer to have that weight in capacity. So I'll choose that over, it's a balancing act. You just got to figure out what works. Figure out what your discharge rate is. Figure out what it's going to be. No, you didn't, RC Air Marshal. We're getting there. What's up, Mr. RC Air Marshal, and all you guys that just showed up? Paul Ballard, what's up? Hey, Paul is a member. So thanks for the membership, Paul. And don't forget, you guys, if you do want to become a member, look in the description. It shows you how to do it. So that's another good question. EQ. I will get there. I haven't flown it yet, and I will change the fan units before I change it. The fans that are in there are actually pretty good for what they are. They're 64 millimeter 2840 Outrunners, and they're actually, the fan looks pretty good. I think they're FMS units. They just rebadge them. But I'm not going to fly it with them. I want to fly something different, and I have my own setup that is these fans called RC Blog, and then they are Cyclone 2960 or 2950, I don't remember, in runners that will be in there. And I'll have all that stuff in detail when I get to it. But hopefully I'll be able to get that done this week. That's what this box is right here. I still haven't gotten it done yet. My wife had surgery on Thursday, so I've been making sure that she's got what she needs and getting taken care of, and then we'll get back to normal. And we've got a heat wave coming through here starting tomorrow, I believe. So, EQ. From what I've seen, there's a couple videos that have been posted already of the MiG-25. Thing flies amazing out of the box. Flies great, but I don't like Outrunners. I just don't like Outrunners. So I'm going to do what I can to update it. Yes, that is exactly it. RC Air Marshal nailed it. That's exactly what I do. So the higher capacity, yes, so he's right. The trick is the higher the capacity, the higher the discharge rate for the same C rating. It's exactly right. So 6250 30C, it has way more than a 30C 5000, quite a bit. And that 6250 30C rating doesn't matter what kind of plane you're using. That's going to be way more than it needs. It's over, close to 200 amps, if not over. I think it's like 180 something continuous amps. So yeah, that's exactly it. So that's why I choose, like the 30C 6200. That's way more than you need. If you have an EDF that's pulling over 150 amps, which I've done before, but if you have an EDF that's pulling over that, or any kind of airplane that's pulling over that, you shouldn't be flying full throttle much anyway. But yes, Air Marshal, good description there. Thank you. Kind of what I was trying to say. So let's see. We're getting more people coming in. So hopefully by the time we're done with Q&A, I'll have more people so we can see this new product that I've got. It's something I've been working on for a little while. And if you guys looked at the image and then looked at that video I put in there, it would kind of give you an idea as to where I'm going. But that's where I'm going to leave it until we get there. Maybe you be talking about Paul. Weirdo. Okay, so let's see if we got any other questions coming up in there. You know what, Paul? That's funny because that is actually what happens. Sometimes that's what you just got to do. Throw a battery in there, see what the hell happens. And sometimes a crash is the result. And that's what I always say about flying RC. I fly, therefore I crash. You just have to accept that. Now, if you're crashing a lot, you got to change something. But crashing does happen. It's something that you've got to accept. It will happen. If it hasn't happened in a while, it'll do like it did to me last year from the end of June through August. I just crashed a lot of stuff. The law of averages will catch up to you. I flew a lot. I had a lot of non-mishaps for a long time, and then smack, 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 smack. Every which way. So it happens. Let's get down and see what's going on here. I know you're joking, Paul. It's all good. Jeff Roberts, what's happening? I think I sent your burner already. If I didn't, it's on the way. So I don't. What more questions? More questions. Asking all these questions. Come on, people, ask me some questions. Let's see what this big old fat head of mine's got still buried up in there. But yeah, so if you Some very simple equations to remember too for figuring out discharge rates. So it's the discharge rate is the capacity of the pack times the C rating. So 6030 C, it's a 30 C 6000, so it's 30 C times 6. Milliamp hours is another way of saying amp hours. So 6 amp hours, the same as 6 milliamp hours. So multiply 6 times 30, that gives you 180. So there you go. That's something to remember, because if you know what your plane is going to be running as an amp load, and granted, that's going to be peak, that's not going to be constant. If you can figure that out, then you can decide what kind of batteries you need. Mr. GB Linden, what's happening? Craig Beaven, if I didn't say hi to you, I'm saying it now. What's up? How you doing? Victor RC Jets is here as well, and looks like Mr. Victor is a member. So thank you very much, Victor, for being a member of the Gooniac channel here. Gooniac 33, fiery booty. But yeah, Victor, I've got to catch up on your stuff. So let's see here. Wild Bill's got an interesting question. Have you ever measured the PAR? What does that mean? What do you explain what you mean? Are they talking about weight or talking about other stuff? I am curious, because I'd like to be able to answer that for you. I'm switching screens too, so sorry if it keeps going. Oh, light meter. No, I haven't. But I do know what they advertise that they should be. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but they're pretty dang bright. I can figure it out. I'll have to figure it out. Lumens is what you're talking about, right? I'll have to look, because I remember seeing what it was at one point, and I chose the stuff that was the highest, and stuff that I don't think many people know about. So I know for a fact that when it comes to brighter or not, mine are the brightest, because I'm the only one that uses that style. So regardless of what you've heard, mine are the brightest. You know, now, and that's on top of just being brightness and fill light. I have the most fill light of the ones out there too. So Nate Calgal, the box still has the MiG-25 in it. It was unboxed and reboxed. So yeah, Victor, I'll get to watching your stuff eventually. I have to watch EQs as well. I haven't really been able to get on the computer at all. I've been busy with stuff, playing orderly, and then also working on orders, and then also working on this new stuff I've been doing too. So, not to mention feeding squirrels, chasing cats, all this other stuff. I have a cat, I'm taking care of myself, but there's some wild cats outside that need to be dealt with, that have been dealt with. So, yeah, and I gotta hopefully you guys post that soon too, GB Lynn, and I want to see the fire booty in that thing, and I do want to see the PJ50 fly too. So I'll get to that eventually, Victor. I might even do that right after I'm done here. So yeah, Fred Barron, scaring cats, because I've got cats that are wild, feral cats out doing stuff they ain't supposed to be doing. And if you scare them enough, they don't come back. So I'm doing that. I'm hoping. So. Screen change, because I'm going to another one. So, all right, y'all. So, keep on asking questions, or we gonna get on into the other stuff. If everything goes well, we'll get to see it. I think this is the weather getting weird again this weekend. I hope not, because it looks like we have nice weather during the week and then crazy stuff on the weekends. Because we had actual full-on rain on Saturday. So, yeah, it's all good. Just when you can. But he said he loved the plane, which is cool. And then hopefully he'll get to see what I'm putting up tonight too. And if people don't see it live, they will see it on the replay. But I got some goodness for y'all today because I decided to do some things to include everybody instead of it just being about the fiery booties and the EDFs. We gotta open up the love to everybody, and not the kind of love that Marshall and these other fools talk about. We talk about spreading the happiness of external lights. So try to figure that out. Unfortunately, EQ, where they are, there's no way to get water out there. I just got to scare them. Yeah, and Jeff, I heard about Texas. It's going crazy out there. I have a friend that just moved there from here, from Livermore. He moved down to Texas, and he dealing with thunderstorms and tornado watches and all that stuff. So Scotty, I've seen the PJ50 fly. Nate has one. I posted a video of mine. I'll put that up there. And I've also I haven't seen the J65 in person. I see the real one. It looks just like that almost every day fly over my house. Ooh, that's a good one too. Pop. I gotta. Thanks for the questions. I'm gonna make you a moderator. So let's see, what was that? So PJ65 or PJ50? Anybody answer, however you want. It's up in the air. If it was up to me, I'd choose the J65 just because I like the features it has. I like the way it looks. I like the fans that's in there. Just looks more real to me. And like I said, I see the real one fly over all the time. Exact same scheme. PJ50 is good too. I've seen Nate fly his, and I flew it too. I have to post that video, so I haven't posted it. It flies good. Flies a really good. Flies like a trainer, but fast and with a really good roll rate. So yeah. RC Air Marshal, you're on the right track. I don't have it yet, but you're gonna see what I did, and I think it's gonna be cool. I think you guys will like it. So let's see what else. Okay, so that Pop, I had to answer that question. You are now also a moderator, just so you know. Thanks for coming by and asking questions. Very much appreciated. I like it when people participate. And when people participate, I make sure to make them moderators so that they can help me with the spammage. So this is what he says. I have 3 smart batteries that are a year old and only charge to about 80%. Only max. I just tossed them. Okay, so wait a minute. All right, so I know sometimes the smart stuff, the percentages are off. What's the voltage? Is the voltage showing up as, what is the voltage showing up as? That's what I go off of. I don't go off of the percentages. 4.2 is 100. 4.2 volts per cell multiplied by however many cells you have. That is going to be 100%. So you need to look up what it's fully charging to, because there could be a setting in there that's messing too. That's possibly messing up. But check and see. That's a good question. If you're charging with a smart charger too, there's settings in there that you might have to go in and manipulate to change to what you want them to be. So check it out. And yes, the Fred Barron, you are correct. He's always got a fire booty, and it ain't the kind. He had a green one, but I don't know if he still does. But yeah, it's always fire. It's always on some kind of fire, burning, burning, burning. So doesn't deep burn. So. That's a which famous physicist? I don't know. Funny thing is, too, I work with a whole bunch of physicists too, and they're out of this world. I have fully discharged batteries. Left plug-in a plane. Are they DOA? Well, it depends on your voltage. What's the voltage? Are they totally dead? You can bring them back, But when a battery is totally dead, that's actually a good question. When a battery is totally dead, that's actually hurting it. You're going to kill it eventually. You've really shot up the likelihood of it shooting. Its internal resistance goes way through the roof when you do that. You don't want them to go way down. So you can bring them back. There are ways to do it, but you've already damaged the battery and you've cut its life significantly. So it may not be worth it. And I've done that too. I've had a plane get stuck in a tree, finally get it down. The battery's been plugged in the whole time. The battery's completely dead. I have been able to revive the battery, but as I said, the batteries will... Okay, so there's ways to do it. And you have to be there watching it the entire time. So best thing to do, you've got to change the chemistry on your charger. Change it to nickel metal hydride or NiCad, one or the other, or even lead, just as long as it's a constant charge. So, but you have to watch it. So you connect your battery, you put it on a low amperage, 500 milliamps, but you put it on a lead or NiCad connection, and then you monitor it. Figure out what the voltage of the battery is. If it's a 4S pack, it's the nominal voltage is 14.8. So the least that it's gonna recognize on the charger is 3.4, 3.5 volts, maybe a little less, 3 volts per cell. Okay, so you want to get that battery up to at least 12 volts before you switch it over and charge it the regular way. But either way, you're going to want to do it at a low charge rate, because you don't want to burn up the pack, and it needs to be monitored the entire time that it's charging. So it can be done, and I can always do a show on that too if you want. And we've got a new member, Mr. Michael Statler. Thank you very much for becoming a member on whatever level you have. It's been very cool to have members show up and support the channel. I appreciate it. And yeah, wild build, it can happen. They will come back. But once you cut them down, once you've taken them all the way down a couple times, they don't really recover from it. So we'll tell you. Oh yeah, that's right. Chopping lead. Yeah. So if you want to see like a really cool like light show and possibly burn your hands, do what Nate said, or don't do it. Or do like I did, cutting charge leads on a 48 volt pack that I didn't realize was still live. My hands were black. I mean, like charred color black. It was disgusting. Don't do that. Don't do that. LJ Hobby Life, what is happening? I don't think I've seen you on here in a long time. But thank you for coming by the channel. Very much appreciated. And guys, just in case you didn't know, official Gooniac weirdo is what you're called when you join the channel. So check it out. Please join. Just gotta click that little join button, and it'll do that. I have to put it in writing too. So Roman McGowan, what's up, man? Yeah, Firefox, I've known him for a few years. I've seen that. I'm literally watched him grow up. He's always been a good RC pilot too. Good kid. And if you fly with them, hopefully you a good person too. But thank you for coming by and checking us out. Yeah, Paul Ballard. That's why I said it the way I did. Because I said charred different, but no, they're not black. They're like a brown color, off beige, whatever you want to call it. Jelonius, what's up? So yeah. Or was that Air Marshal that said it? No, I'm not. They're brown. And you're not white. You're pink. Anyway. So let's see. So what else is going on? Cool. So we're getting more people. So I think we should, since we're not getting a whole whole lot of questions. I'm gonna have to go set up my other camera so y'all can see what I've been working on. So let me get things set up. I will return in a few seconds. I'll be back. So I'm hoping y'all can hear me. I've got my new headphones on. Hopefully you can still hear. I'm gonna have to pull up my chat on my tablet here. Hopefully you guys can hear me still. Yep, I can hear myself talking, which means y'all can hear me. Okay, so I have my GB here, which has been a test bed for quite a few things, but I want to show you something I've been working on. I don't know if you can kind of already see it, but people have been asking when are you going to do fiery booties for warbirds or for prop planes or something like that. Oh, hey, Pop 305, thank you very much for the super chat, my friend. Very, very much appreciated. And I got to put you up on the screen for that. Check that out. I love super chats. Don't get to see them very often, so thank you, my friend. Very much appreciate it. And like I said, any questions you have, put them up there. I try to answer them for y'all because I've been in RC for a long time, and I like to help people figure out how to do stuff and how to be successful at it, not go and enjoy people crashing. So, as I said, I wanted to do something for warbirds or for prop planes, and I've been working on it for a while. Been kind of quiet and not showing a whole lot of things from the field or whatever because I've been busy with other stuff. So got some new stuff. You're going to hear beeping because my radio, my ESC has been disconnected. But I've got a new setup for warbirds and for planes with propellers. So that's what we're going to do here first. So you're going to hear the motor. This thing's going to be making noise. But So this is what we got going on. I'm going to let me get that off the screen real quick. But this is a radial engine, and it's supposed to be a 9-cylinder radial. Usually what they do with 9-cylinder radials is they'll have, there's 9 cylinders here, but they'll have collectors to make all that exhaust come out to one side, 2 sides. Some of them have them come out all around, just depends. I decided to do it kind of here on the side like this. So the way I have it right now, I unplugged the motor, but I'll show you all the different ways that you can do this. So number one, I have it to where it will do like the fiery booties do, where it'll start to come on at about half throttle. And I don't know if you can see it all that, but I'm gonna turn the light off. Maybe it'll help, because it's actually flickering and firing a lot like fire actually does. So maybe you can see that, maybe you can't. I've got lights on this thing too. But anyway, there you go. Now you can see it. So it's actually flickering like fire does. So as it is right now, it's set to where about half throttle it comes on, flickers slowly. I can actually get it to actually full on flicker like that if you want. And then as you go up, it gets brighter. And it'll actually, you may or may not be able to see it, but it's actually flickering like a flame does. So it's flickering like fire does. Since this is like a radial, it would just be fire coming out at that one spot. If everything goes the way that I want it to, you'll be able to see an inline motor here by the next show, like a V12 or V10, whatever. So you can see. But now that's one way to do it. So this is basically showing up at half throttle. It comes on and then goes all the way up to full. So that's one way. Now another way you can do it, you take the controller, get to the actually output, and you switch it. You flip it over. And then that makes it so that it goes in the opposite direction. So now your plane could be idling at low throttle, and you'd see the fire like that, which is basically at full. And then as you go up, there'll be less fire, and it goes away. But once you get to about half, it'll flicker like that. And then when you go down to idle, it's going to do this. So that's what I've been working on. And then there's another way to do it. So if you don't want to have it connected to your throttle at all, doesn't have to be. That's what I'm doing. I'm plugging all of that. So to bypass everything, you can just plug this directly into the little exhaust stack, and that way, sorry for bumping the camera, it'll just be on the whole time. So, and that'll still do the flicker like it's flames. So it'll be cool. It'll still work out. It'll look like it's firing in order. So let me know what you guys think. I'm going to try to take a look at the chat here and see what you guys think. But that's it. This is just for the radial setup right now, and this is just for one side. That's just one side there. Turn this back on. So yeah, so that's it. You can see it very bright during the day. I had it out on the patio. You can see it as plain as day. So it's it doesn't really, you can see how bright it is just by putting my hand there. And this is just plugged in directly to the balance port. And it's taking 3S power. So plug that back in. Put it in reverse. because you want to do that again. But so this is the radial setup, and again, this is just doing the collector style, where it's all going to be on one side. But if you have, because some planes will have two exhaust ports here, one up above, one below, or if it's like a Corsair or a Seafury, they've got all the rows here lined up here and here. So I can do it either way, however you want it. Doesn't matter, can be done. But this is just the way that I decided to do it, to show off the new setup today. So there's that. Let's put in. Let's flip that over. There we go. Okay. So if you look closely, you can see it. So yeah, so that's it. I don't know prices yet, but yes, I am going to be selling it. Let's just close everything up so you can see. It's a spinning prop, so I'm not going to enable the motor because I don't want the motor spinning. But full bright, and then there's down to the flicker, and that's kind of cool the way it does that. You can't really see it. Let me see if I can take this thing off of there and put it up there so you can see. Get it a little closer. So you can see that it's flickering like flames. It looks really cool on the inline stuff because it looks, you can see like individual firing order. So there's that. And I made the stacks. It's just some random plastic parts that I had and I made them. It's not totally perfect. Should be facing more back, but that's it. So this is the beginning of some cool new stuff coming out. They're going to be basically available for all types of warbirds, all sizes. These are the smaller, a little bit smaller LEDs. There's a total of 9 LEDs in here, 3 per stack. So it's going to be dependent upon the size of what you're going to be doing. I have big ones too, so there can be up to 6mm LEDs that I use. So, and also, you know, what the hell? This plane is not just. This has been a test bed for a few things. I use this plane for rockets. I used it for LEDs, like flying at night LEDs. So here, we'll show that right now. So I've got the LEDs here at the right side, and then I have the pilot figure lit up. What I'm actually going to do now, on top of having this stuff, it's a little bright, on top of having that stuff, and there's lights underneath, I'm going to put lights here in the cowl as well, so that you can see see all that going on. There you go. And this plane, believe it or not, this uses a 14 by 12 prop because I've got a really low kV motor. Nate's actually flown this plane. He kind of likes it too. But if you guys are interested in this, feel free to fill out the contact form on the page. I'll go get back to that stuff here in a minute. We unplug the plane. I'll get back to it. But there we go. So that's it. That's part of what I've been working on. We're going to get more stuff to show to you guys the next time. And there will be more videos coming up of stuff that I'm doing. So let me get this stuff buttoned up and I will be right back. So there you go. That's that. Let me see if I can catch up on the chat here because I saw y'all were running your mouths, which is good. I like chatting on here. So yeah, and Roman McGowan, thanks for being here. I'm going to make you a moderator. Anybody that interacts with me on here, I like to make you guys moderators so you can check out what's going on. Thank you, Paul Ballard. Jet Tech Don, what's happening? Caesar, how are you? Thanks for coming by. Hope you were able to see what we just set up. I don't think I can put the lights on the end of the rotors, which would be cool. But I know I could put rotors. I mean, I could put formation lights on planes. That's not hard to do. So Scotty, RC, within the next couple of weeks, I'll make it available. And they're going to be made to order. It's not going to be one of those things where I have stuff stacked up on the shelf. I don't do stuff that way because the quality is usually low. And then if there's more for, more of one plane than the other, I like to make them as I need them. And thank you, RC Air Marshal. And yeah, the V12s, I have some that I've used that I've already set up, but I'm not going to show them until I actually have stacks with it. But it looks pretty cool because they actually, it looks a lot like they're the actual firing order. It's really cool. John VHRC, glad you made it. So yeah, it's going to be available within the next couple of weeks. If you're interested, let's just put the website up so you can see. Go to Gooniac33.me.com, fill out the form, and send me an email. I think I even have my actual email address there on the website. So take a look. If you haven't seen the website, maybe I should pull it up for y'all to see, so that you guys can see how the website works, and then I will show you what it is you need to do. So let's do that right now. Share the screen. Ooh, extra camera. Ooh, I like that. There's new stuff on here. Okay. So, so it's going to look a little strange for a second, but I'm going to show you a website. So here's the website. So very first thing you see up here when you look at the website, you will see that little mail thing. That's what you click to contact me. So you click that, and it takes it straight down to where to order or message me. The contact is there. It says my name, says the email address, or you fill out the contact form, and it does it that way. So back up to the top. If you have any questions, click that. Tells you that. It goes straight down to the bottom and fill out the stuff. Now, if you go and look at this, look at the menus at the menu up here. Very first thing is how to order. So if you want to order anything for fire booty or whatever, take a look at this, and it tells you what it is you need to look for and what it is you need to do and all the important things that you need to know. So if you don't understand what it is that needs to be done or want to know what it is you need to do, I don't have a store up here. I do things to order one by one. That keeps quality high. That keeps everybody happy. So I could do like others and just make it like a storefront, but that's just really impersonal. I prefer to talk to everybody individually and figure out and make sure things are right so that there's not a whole bunch of back and forth and unnecessary crap done. So yeah, but the most important thing to remember, everything is made by me by hand, one at a time, either here in my living room or outside on my patio. There is no mass production. It's all one by one per order. So keep that in mind. And if I'm missing stuff in the chat, I will get back to it right now. But that's just stuff you need to know. That tells you everything you need to know right there. That's what you need to do. Let's get on out of there. Oh, it's not safe. What do you mean, Tim Houston's? It's safe. Everything's good. It's a secure site. It's HTTPS. It's secure. It's all good. And if you look at the page, it shows you my Instagram feed, all that stuff. I've got a whole bunch of aviation/RC stuff. It's not just RC. I'm into aviation, period. So I got a whole bunch of cool flyovers today. I got a P8 Poseidon flyover. Was able to share that with the guys, but I need to post more stuff. And Ghost RC, I have been, believe it or not, I'm not talking about it, but I have been trying to figure out ways to make it work with turbines. I'm getting close. Haven't quite gotten there yet, but getting there. So yeah, we're getting there. And the wife is doing good, just so you know. She's recovering fairly, doing good as best she can. She had actual surgery on Thursday, so it was all internal stuff, but still it takes time. So she'll be okay. Nothing major. Caesar, I don't mind questions. Hey, I'm glad that you're asking a question. I'll throw that up on the screen, matter of fact. Don't ever apologize for asking questions. I like questions. I want to buy, I want to buy an 80 millimeter F5. Will it do good for taking off on a grass? Ooh, it can. What type of grass do you have? If you've got really short grass, it'll do fine. But it has to be short grass that does not like leave little clips, because if you get stuff stuck up into the cheater hole, it's not going to do very good. Paul Ballard, I kiss and hugged her for me. How's that? So if you're taking off from a grass runway, I've done it. It's not good if it's long grass, because it gets stuck up in that. It gets stuck up in the cheater hole, cheater grate. So if it's short grass, no issue. You'll be able to get off the ground, especially with the new power systems that they've got now. The 9-blade in-runner is really good in that plane. And then if you want to put an FMS in there of any kind, FMS will be good. So hey, hope that answers the question. Thanks for being here. And whenever you get on here and ask questions, that means, and you interact with people, that means I make you moderator. So thank you for being here, and feel free to ask questions whenever. If I can get to it, I will. If not, I won't. But for the most part, I usually do. Yeah, EQ's right. I work for the DOE, but if I'm not on the DOE site, ain't nothing secure here as far as that goes. But I don't know if you guys watch, but DOE has been working on a project with a new electric plane. So there's a guy, Ed Seguin is his name. He's the test pilot for that. Let's see. You guys are jumping in the chat today. Thank you very much. So it would be cool. Just put a smart. Oh, that's good. Tim Justin's good question. Everybody's asking. So I'm gonna throw that up there because that is a good question. Everybody needs to know this. In-runners, for the most part, like low timing, and low timing is anywhere from 5 to 9 degrees timing. So yes, 5 will work fine. Try that. That'll give you lower amp draw. You will get a little bit more performance as far as RPMs, but it won't be noticeable at 15. But the biggest thing you'll notice is a bigger amp draw. So if you want to get the most out of it, take it to 5, because we've noticed, Nate, when we first started using the smart ESCs, I don't know, are you around, Nate? First started using the ESCs, the smart ESCs, we were wondering why his F16 was cutting out. So the we were able to use all the telemetry to figure out what it was pulling before and after, and once he dropped the timing, the amps dropped by like 10 to 12. So, and the plane didn't fly any different. It just lasted longer when it flew because there's less amps. Less amps is always good. So yeah, believe it or not, Wreckham Roy, it does work similar. Electric motors do the same sort of thing that gas motors do, without firing the way that they fire. And you can hear, and it's the same deal. Advanced timing, you might get more RPMs and more performance, but it's going to make it run hotter. And it's the same thing with electrics. When you pull it back, it's going to run cooler, but you're going to lose a little bit of power. So same deal. But it depends on the way that they're set up to run. So there you go. Hope that works for you. So JCB67, why does the motor cut off? Because the motor is, the ESC has been set with too high of a voltage cutoff. So you need to cut that, get in there and change the programming. The way I always put it, it's better to lose a battery than it is to lose a plane. So you want to set it up to where the battery will get run dry, but the plane will still fly. Instead of the plane shutting off and then you don't have any power to get back to the runway. So set your set everything up in a way where there's low timing. Low timing will be 5, somewhere between 5 and 9. On the Smart ESC, it's 5. Go into all the other setups. You want it to be a soft cut. You also want it to be a low cutoff. So I think that's 2 volts. Or if you can turn it off altogether, just turn the cutoff off altogether. Low or off. And then that should be pretty much it. Good to go. They do sell programming cards, or you could do the forward programming. And to do the forward programming, the best thing to do is to go to RC Air Marshal's channel and check him out, because he does some really good explanations on how to do that. If you've got dumb ESCs, which most of us have, use programming cards or use the throttle stick. Paul Ballard, that's a good one. So he's asking, how do I set the timing? Finally, serious done. And he's ignoring me. I got you. Sometimes it's slow on StreamYard. I apologize. So I got you there. So what you do is you get a programming card, depending on what ESC is, the ESC you have. If it's a Smart ESC, they do have a programming card you can get. It's like $20, 20 or $30. It's like a little box, a screen. If it's the Motion RC stuff or the Hobby Wing, they have a little flat card that you can use, or you follow the programming on the by using the throttle stick. That's harder, but you can do it that way. They all have their own programming cards, so that's what Air Marshal just said, which makes sense. Not all of them are the same. Some of them use like little flip open, and like what are they? Which ones are those? I can't remember which ones. They use some little flip open thing where you have to move jumpers. There are those, but if you're using the Smart ESCs, there's forward programming you can do. There's also the programming card. There's other ways to do it. You could even do it on the computer if you have the USB stuff. Okay, so Caesar, that's a good one, because that's what actually happened to Nate with his, and I was out there with him when it happened. That's a good question. It's because they have all the programming wrong. Default programming is set all wrong. Medium timing, high cutoff, surge cutoff instead of soft cut. So the motor goes, so you got to go into the programming, lower the timing to 5, and all the other stuff. We've talked about it on other shows. I don't remember which ones, but yeah. So there's ways to do it, but go to RC Air Marshal's channel and check out his stuff on forward programming, because then that shows you how to set up the if you have a way to do forward programming with the DX9 or the NX radios, there's ways to do it. But check out what he says to do on there. So hey, good question. Good questions, guys. Even though this is the question and answer section is gone, it's still good stuff. I appreciate it. Hopefully I'm helping. So we're going for a little bit over an hour. That's good. You guys have any other questions about the stuff that I showed, about the new setups? And you're welcome, Paul Ballard, anytime, my friend. Glad to be of assistance. Okay, so Fred Barron, 5 degrees timing, soft cut, and then low voltage cut, or no voltage cut, depends on which ones. If you can do low or no, it makes it easier. Those are the important ones. If you look at the defaults, it's going to be medium timing, which is going to be 15 degrees. If you pay close attention, you can actually hear the difference in the way the motors sound, especially on the Draco. The Draco with 15 degrees timing, the motor sounds a little strange. It's strange to hear it said this way, but it sounds crunchy or like it's grinding. It's because the timing is a little too far advanced. You move it back, you won't hear that noise. So 5 degrees timing, soft cut, and then low voltage cutoff. So yeah, there you go. It's similar, John, VHOC. I work with electric motors, so I have to pay attention to what they sound like. You know, if there's stuff is shorted out, I can hear it. If stuff's not working right, I can hear it. But with brushless motors, when the timings change, you can actually hear the difference in the way the motor sounds if you pay attention. Because it will last longer. There you go, Tim. You got it. That's it. It'll last longer. But yeah. So, and yeah, Ford Programming School. John VHRC, it does sound similar to that. It just sounds when the motor's running with the timing too high, it makes a different sound. And you can tell it's not happy. And then once it starts screeching, when you move the stick too fast, that for sure tells you something's not right. But with most motors, unless they're set for certain, set to run at a certain, it is similar, Tim. It's not that much different. If they're set to run at certain timings, you'll hear it. You'll tell when they're not happy. They make more noise, and they create more heat, and they draw more amps. So lower heat, lower amps is always a better thing. It's pretty close right now, Snow Valley. My system's a whole lot lighter, I'll tell you that. But I don't think it's going to sync. It'll be close. It's not going to be that off. The way that that it runs with you can see it with the inline motors. It looks more like what the real ones look like when they're firing. So it's kind of cool. So anyway, that's pretty much it. What I wanted to talk about today. So if there's anything else going on, you guys can ask some questions. It's all good, John. I have the stuff coming. We're good. Scared the cat. So yeah, I mean, it depends on what kind of planes you guys have for this system, the size. I mean, it'll work on, if you want it to work on gas planes, you can make it work on gas planes too. Just depends on what you're willing to do. It will work. So before we get out of here, y'all can ask some more questions before we go. We've already been going for a little over an hour, which is about what I wanted to do before I had to get out of here and prepare for the workings tomorrow. But hopefully I'll get some flying in either this week or the weekend. Methane gas does not count as gas. And this type of methane actually has scent to it. Most methane doesn't have any smell, unless it's been odorized. So Snow Valley, as you see more of the stuff that I put out when I do, you'll understand. It makes sense. I think somebody was even going to do it with the helicopter. but it can be done. I'm even thinking about doing it with the Draco as well. So if anybody has a Draco and wants to try it out, just let me know. No. Oh, hey, have you seen those? I don't know if you guys have seen. Let me type that in. Stem Wings. Stem Wings is this guy. He was actually a customer of mine first. But yeah, I like talking about people that have always been cool to me and that have helped me. This guy's done both. He was a customer of mine first, and then he decided he wanted to do some stuff. So let me first put his website there in the chat, but then I want to show you his site because it's pretty cool. And he's done this with my burners, and his controller works. I have a controller, I just haven't been able to get to it yet, but I want to show you guys what it is I'm talking about here because it's pretty cool. Take a look. It's going to be strange for a second because it's going to go all over the place, but take a look at this. So this is what it is. It's a battery info display that looks like a glass cockpit. It's kind of cool. So it has all these different screens you can choose from. But then he also has this thing that will control my burner. So he has it set up to where it's going to control the Gooniac burner. Because he was originally a customer of mine. And then he had issues with his controller and decided he wanted to figure out how to do something that worked with the burner. So check it out. That's my burner, but this is using his setup. That's his burner there. If you want, use my burner. My burner is a little bit brighter, more realistic and aerodynamic. But if you want, you can use his controller to control mine. And there's the price. It's not bad. It's $40 just for the controller. And all you have to do with this is connect it to the balance lead and the burner. That's it. Because it uses circuitry in here that figures out when there's a load. So, like I said, he's helped me out. I've helped him out. We'll prop up each other. Use my burner and then use his controller. You can do that. We'll figure out a way to make that work. But he was a customer of mine first, and I purchased one of his controllers, one of these controllers, just to make it work. And it's worked pretty cool. It works good. I haven't taken video of it yet, but it works good. It controls all of this without having to connect to the receiver, which is pretty cool. So all you have to do is connect to your battery balance lead and to the burner itself. That's it. So check that out. If you want the most aerodynamic burner that's out there, you can use mine and then just use his controller. And any of the controllers you can switch back and forth to any plane you want, but with his, it makes it easier because there's no actual receiver connection. So it's kind of cool. But thank you guys for coming in. I see lots of people leaving. Paul, thanks for coming. But I see everybody checking out, and it's about time for me to check out too. Pops305, thanks for coming. Everybody that showed up, thanks for coming. John VHRC, I'll talk to you later because I got some questions to ask you. But thank you to everyone that came by. Hope you were able to check out the new setups that I've got going on. And again, if you have questions, go to my website right there and fill out the contact form and ask me questions that way, or you can just comment on this video at a later date, or check out the description for all that stuff. Like, comment, subscribe. Make sure to hit the like button before you leave. Like, comment, subscribe, share my videos. If you've got questions about videos, do all that. But thank you guys for being here, and I'm gonna check out right now. And thanks for the well wishes, Fred Barron. I'll make sure to tell her. Adios, my peoples. Have a good night, have a good week, and more videos to come. So keep posted. Subscribe, click the bell, and you'll get to see all the new videos coming. There's lots of stuff coming. All right, adios.